Hey, loves, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another bomb lunch hour. For those of y'all who do not know me, I am a self love coach who specializes in helping people radically transform their lives through one on one coaching. Right now, I have a deal where you can get a whole hour of coaching for only $30. If you need help with toxic relationships, dealing with childhood trauma, developing a plan to get to a different space in your life, I got you. I've been through it all and came out on the other side. At the beginning of the year, I decided I wasn't happy where I was at, came up with the plan, and in 6 months, I moved to Colombia. So I am coming at y'all live from the beautiful city of Medellin, Colombia, here in South America. So, again, if you need any type of assistance with that, hit me up at thepassportsis@gmail.com. Guys, I am not liking my ponytail today. Again, if y'all are just now coming in, hit the like button. And if you've been watching me for a while, please subscribe and share my content if you like. Y'all know I'm trying to grow. So today we are going to be discussing Mendeecees and Yandy. I'm going to talk about them first, and then we're going to talk about this interview that clown number one and clown number two did on Cam Newton's channel. So I feel like I'm going to make a lot of people upset today, but honestly and truly, I just got to come to y'all real straight. Hey, Olivia, good to see you, sis. Y'all, I apologize for not coming on the past 2 days. Like, I really wanted to try to make it, but I had an allergic reaction that I'm still recovering from. And like, I don't know if y'all have ever had allergies. It's so exhausting. Like, you're so tired, especially when you're like itching everywhere in your nose and your ears and stuff. So even today I'm a little bit under the weather still, but I feel much better than what I did the past couple of days. Yeah, and I just did not feel like getting on camera. So I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and put my headphones on. Now, I want to say this. I really don't watch love and hip hop like that. I really don't watch all these shows like that, but I do keep up. I keep up with a lot of popular culture via like YouTube and via um blogs and stuff on Instagram, but I'm not one to just sit up and watch a whole episode of these people going back and forth about foolishness and stage drama. But I will try to find enough information to where I know about the situation and we can get a lesson out of it, right? Thank you so much, Olivia. Yeah, I'm feeling much better today. What up, lunch crew? Hey, Carlos. And I feel like every Latino is going through that right now. I'm feeling the sickness too. Yeah, like I don't know what's going on. And there is something going around over here, just not feeling good at all. But we're going to get through it. Um, so going back to this whole thing with Yandys and Mendeecees. Now, if y'all don't know, Yandy's been with Mendeecees for a long time, right? And y'all remember he got locked up and sent to prison. Now, Yandy I don't know if she knows this or not, but Yandy is not Mendeecees type. If y'all seen Mendeecees baby mama, she looked nothing like Yandy, and this chick that he's allegedly cheating with now looks nothing like Yandy. So this is why you have money, you gotta either you gotta be very cautious about men who are out to use you. And if you're going to get with a man knowing that he's using you, you gotta take what comes with it. Because Yandy's used to be in the streets, he used to sell drugs. Sorry, Mendeecees used to be in the streets and sell drugs. And what happened is he got with Yandy, and Yandy is this boss chick. Yandy always been a boss. Yandy always been about her money. She always been about her paper. But Mendeecees used Yandy to help him clean up a lot of his money, right? So she always served a purpose. It's definitely giving Rashida girl. It's giving Rashida, but she doesn't want to be labeled as that, but it's giving that. Mendeecees has been telling Yandy in her face for years in so many words that he don't want her like that, that he doesn't really see it for her like that. But again, you have some women who they're so desperate and so aggressive and so thirsty that they don't see when you're just useful. You're useful. So duh, I'm gonna be with you. You're useful. So Yandy cleaned a lot of Mendeecees' money up, allegedly, right? And she was able to help funnel his money into some businesses. So she had the business savvy that a lot of women that are his type do not have. So we're gonna give Yandy her props. She's a boss chick, period. When Mendeecees went to jail and got locked up, Yandy held it down for him, right? Again, you gotta understand, in Yandy's mind, this is probably the finest dude she could ever get, right? And she's not a bad looking woman, don't get me wrong, but I'll say this, Yandy requires a lot. Yandy the type, she gotta keep her hair done, gotta keep the makeup on, gotta keep the lashes. She gotta do all that, right? Um, and she looked good when she put herself together. So again, her strength more so is in her business savvy. So he went to jail. She held him down. Now, I always say, unless a man is like your husband and he was the one taking care of you for a long time, I don't think that it's wise for women to hold men down when they go to jail. Because what y'all got to understand is, even if he was only dealing with you when he went into jail, once a man goes to jail, that's a whole different environment that a lot of us could never understand. So he's in survival mode. So if at the time he was out, he was just dealing with you, best believe that there are going to be other women that are in the mix when the man goes to jail. Because when you were in jail and you were in survival mode, one is too close to none. All it takes is you getting in your feelings for that day or a week or two because he says something on the phone that you don't like, and things that he needs to move does not move, especially when he's conducting business in jail. Do y'all understand? This is why there are a lot of men who were in jail who poach women off of social media, right? They go live and they talk to these women and get a lot of different women to send them money. They're not sleeping with them, but a lot of different women feel like they're in a relationship with the same man who was in jail. Period. Right? That is survival of the fittest. I feel like they're at least I have a husband type. How he treating you though? Exactly. It's the at least I got a man. At least I can keep a man. Well, sis, if most women would have a man if they were willing to do things that you do. So that doesn't really distinguish you from anybody. That just means you were willing to play ball. That's it. So he gets out of jail, and I don't know if y'all remember this, but Yandy had a scene on Love and Hip Hop where she asked Mendeecees, like, if I went to jail, would you have held me down? And he said, I don't know. The correct answer, the answer he really wanted to say was, no, I don't like you like that. You served a purpose. And if you're not out in the free serving the purpose for me, then no, ma'am, I'm not holding you down while you're in jail. And that's not just a Mendeecees thing. The vast majority of women get left behind when they go to jail. They don't get support. People leave them. Papoose and Remy is a rarity. Most women get forgotten about and left behind when they're in jail. People don't even come visit them at the same rate. Like family members don't even come visit women at the same rate that they go visit their male family members while they're in jail. Do y'all understand? So women across the board, when they're dealing with prison time and when they are dealing with illness, just do not get the same support. And there are stats to support this. You especially not going to get that type of support if you weren't this man's type to begin with and you were there to serve a purpose. Now, what it appears to me is going on is that Mendeecees stays with Yandy because she's the boss chick. She keeps the money right. She handles her business. And he understands he can have his cake and eat it too and go cheat with who he really likes. And you got a lot of these women who will mess with Mendeecees thinking they're competing with Yandy. But here's the thing, Mendeecees ain't gonna never, as long as Yandy continues to serve his purpose, Mendeecees is never going to leave Yandy. Why? Why would he do that? Why? When he can be with her, be stable, and have what he wants on the side. This is the game, y'all. And it seems like Yandy, I don't know if she doesn't understand that that is the role that she plays. It seems like she doesn't, but she needs to understand that, and she needs to understand that quickly because she was outside making a fool of herself. And I'm gonna play the clips. Hey, skinny boy, good to see you, brother. Yes, y'all hit the like button. Yeah, and this is what I really want the message to come from this is ladies, know the position that you play in a man's life and move accordingly. And if you can't handle it, don't play that role. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to wait for my Instagram to load. I be saving so many clips. Child, I saved this clip of Tyler Perry's at the strip club trying to pretend he was straight. I ain't gonna talk about him today. All right, here we go. I found it. Let me pause it. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see. All right, let's go. So it reads Yandy Smith and Erica Racine get into heated confrontation over Mendeecees cheating allegations. I can't hear.
It's a conversation. Two people don't know each other. But you just gonna let your husband somebody else? You told me. Why am I? No, first of all, you everybody in Atlanta and everybody knows you. I'm not gonna talk to him, but I am. And what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do? I'm gonna talk to don't fight with me. What am I gonna do? No woman is ever going to disrespect my husband in front of me.
Can y'all hear it? I cannot hear.
Never.
Give me a second. Let me check my settings. No, y'all, my earphones are tripping. Hold on, let me unplug them and plug them back up and see. Guys, I might have to go out and come back in. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, they're working now. I apologize, y'all. Now let me just say this. Yandy not about to bust a grape in a fruit fight. Period. Because why get in another woman's face, get that close to her and talk about what you're going to do? Just do it, ma'am. Just do it. You done already got right here, y'all face to face. Just do it. So she did all that just to cause a scene or so that people could say that she stood on business, but you didn't really stand on business. The disrespect was already done. If you felt disrespected, I don't feel like the woman disrespect a woman coming and telling you that your man is cheating on you. In my opinion, it's not disrespect. It's all on perspective. I would be like, oh, really, sis? Okay, tell me more. you know, because where there's smoke, there's always fire. Period. I would be quiet. Y'all remember how when Solange was beating up Jay-Z in the elevator and Beyonce just stood there like this? That would be me listening, gathering information. It sure would. I stopped watching these type of shows years ago. Yeah, that was like when I was in high school. And that ain't if you like to watch it, I understand it's a good distraction. But I just these people get on my nerves, genuinely. I can't believe I used to be tuned in week after week. Thank God for growth. Yeah, yeah. After a while, it gets on your nerves. You can't stomach it for too long. Just yeah, very ghetto, very ghetto. Exactly, Mariah. I truly don't understand Yandy. Yeah, I'm like, girl, you did all that. Let's not forget when Chrissy used to charge Yandy up. If anybody should have got they behind whooped, that should have been Yandy trying to fight Chrissy because Chrissy used to disrespect Yandy like there was no tomorrow. And I never really just seen Yandy try to just get swole up on Chrissy like that. So, ma'am, sit down. And also this comes from that spirit of competition. Oh, I'm not gonna let you disrespect my husband. That's not disrespect. Somebody saying what your man behavior and activity that your man is involved in, that's not disrespect. It's not like the girl was sitting up calling him out of his name or doing anything like that. And it's not like it was for no reason, right? This woman is sitting here in front of you telling you that your man is involved in other women and you're out here defending his honor. Ma'am, sit down. Sit down. Just be quiet, keep it cute, and listen to what's being said. Let him defend himself there. Like, and I get so sick of these women who sit around like they flaunt their relationships all over social media. Oh, at least I have a man, at least I have a ring, and all the rest of y'all are just miserable and bitter, while the rest of us that they talk about know your man for real. Like, let's be clear. A lot of these women have either dealt with your man or they know somebody that's dealt with your man, or your man have told them certain things or seen your man out and about and around the town, but everybody else is bitter, miserable, and single just because we're not dealing with the same situation that you're dealing with. Ma'am, sit down, right? And yes, I do understand there are a lot of side chicks who will come tell you something just because they want to break up the relationship. But who cares, right? A lot of the times you'll get a side chick that will come, and in this case, his actual side chick didn't say anything, a girl that knew the side chick. But it's like a lot of the times side chicks will come tell the wife because the husband been sitting up talking about you. The husband been sitting up telling the side chick he's gonna leave her for you, or he don't really want you like that. The husband made the side chick feel emboldened. So a lot of times, if she's pissed off or getting impatient or angry when things are moving in the direction this man told her that they were gonna move, yeah, she's gonna come tell you. Yeah, she's gonna come tell you with evil and malintent. Now, a mature woman is gonna say, even though she did this with the wrong intentions, the things that my man was doing was disrespectful. Forget her motives and how she feel. This is not a situation that I want to deal with for me. An immature woman is going to cling to her man closer. An immature woman is going to listen to the BS that her man says when he's like, oh, baby, she's just trying to break us up. And she's just a hater. And she's just jealous. And an immature woman is going to be like, yeah, she's just mad because she's not in my position. And she just want my spot. Oh, I had to laugh because y'all, some of these women are so dumb. And then the men don't respect them because they know they dumb. Like, this dummy. All I gotta do is do this, drop a couple dollars, buy a brand new purse, and I got her. Like the men don't even respect these women. OMG, I forgot about Yandy and Chrissy. Baby, Chrissy was on her like white on rice. Chrissy was a fool too, waiting around for a decade for Jim Jones to marry her. Yes, retarded. And she another one of them who she got all these smoke for women and all this smoke for women disrespecting her, but she don't got no smoke for a man playing in her face for 10 years. Some of these women, something is mentally wrong with them. And I understand why men don't have respect for women just in general because they see the dumb shit. The women on these shows taught me what not to do. Exactly. I'll never forget when Chrissy proposed to Girl, I hollered when she did that. It was so embarrassing and it was definitely giving, ma'am, it's a no. What are you doing? Guys, if y'all are just now coming in, hit the like button. I felt so bad for Chrissy, but after a while, it's like, girl, stand up. No, Chrissy got exactly what she deserved because when you are a woman who is male obsessed, when you are eggplant-matized, and you're a mean bully girl to other women, because I still don't like how she did Kim Bella, honestly and truly. But when you're a mean bully girl, you're going to get what's coming to you. And these men are going to proceed to drag you because you pedestalize them and you're mean and hateful and call yourself trying to hold other women accountable. So you're going to always get what's coming to you when you're that type of woman, you know? And the only way to break yourself from that is to learn to actually first like yourself, learn to actually like other women. And I'm not saying you have to hate men, but you know, if you're going to hold people accountable for disrespect, hold everybody accountable for disrespect, not just women because you're in competition with them over men. So Yandy did all that. Okay, fine, girl.
Yeah, take your inside. Try again next time. Yandy's reaction about these rumors is proof that they're true. Because a hit dog will holler.
Yeah, just all this provoking. That's what they want to do, man. This is whack.
Oh, you hear this? All this provoking. That's what they want to do. Now, they are provoking, like they're being messy. I don't understand why they felt the need to let Yandy know that, right? So, like, we're not gonna act like these chicks aren't being messy. But again, he's the man in the situation being accused of cheating. He's not gonna stand there and be like, "Yeah, baby, I am cheating." No, he gonna say whatever he needs to say to make his girl feel like it's us against them, baby.
See, get threatened when they can't handle the truth. They want to start swinging.
Wait, hold on. Let them clear that out because I promise you. Walk straight to listen, I promise you. One of these girls grab you, I'm gonna go crazy. Let's go get some.
Yeah. What you mean you gonna go crazy? You gonna fight the women for what? And Yandy is the one who threatened physical violence. So let her fight unless she getting jumped. Like if she's getting jumped, then yeah, pull some girls up off of her. But if one of them girls want to go one-on-one, toe-to-toe, well, Yandy was the one who opened that door for the violence. Let her fight.
Walk away from this stupid argument. Just reinforced why I love my husband so much.
Girl.
He stood right next to me, 10 toes down, making sure that these three women understood we are unified and we are together in this.
Girl, what was he supposed to do? Ma'am. Okay, you know what? It be the delusion for me. It be the delusion. Okay, because you wouldn't have even been in that situation had he not been messing with all these other women on the side. So, what are we talking about here? He wouldn't have had to stand 10 toes down on nothing if he would have been keeping his thangalang in his pants. It's the delusion. We need to stop teaching little girls that their values lies in being attached to a man. It carries over into adulthood, and you end up with the Chrissy and Yandy of the world. Yes, and guess what? It's toxic for men too. And I'm gonna show y'all why I said that. It is toxic for men too. So, and I'm gonna prove my point in a minute. But yeah, we need to quit teaching little girls this. It's not good for anybody. It's us against the world, Mariah. They just hating on us. Yeah, that's the game they run, and these women fall for it every time. Guys, if y'all are just now coming in, welcome and hit the like button. Mendeecees said out of his mouth that he couldn't do what Yandy did for him while he was locked up. Baby, that would have been it for me. Oh, that would have told me all I needed to know. I would have been preparing my exit then. Together in this. Yeah, just slow. And the thing is, like, ladies, y'all got to understand, other men look at this, look at women who are behaving like this, and it it'd be like, dang, these women are slow. It makes them resentful because it's like y'all will put up with, not y'all, my audience. I'm telling y'all, kind of like in the minds of men, what they think. They feel like y'all will put up for anything with anything from a man just as long as he look a certain way or got certain things going on. And then you want to come over here with standards. I absolutely understand why they feel pissed off and resentful about certain things to an extent, because this is straight up foolishness. So, Mendeecees was on Snapchat. Now, let me just say this. I personally feel like in the year 2024, if you still using Snapchat, you got some nastiness going on. It might not be the case for everybody, but I feel like you real sneaky if you still using Snapchat. So Mendeecees posted a woman on his Snapchat and it's going viral. Let me make sure y'all can see. Yeah. So this says, hold on. This says, Yandy, why is Mendeecees posting videos of a cheeked up lady on Snapchat? Now y'all see this? Mendeecees Harris. Now the way she keep looking back at him and repositioning her stance to make her booty pop more, that's giving we know each other. That's giving we came here together. It's giving you tapped this already, sir. Right? Let's look again. Um Somebody said in the comments, being delusional is the only way your relationship is going to last, you guys. And I don't think that's with every relationship, but a lot of these relationships, I'm just say this. As a woman, even if I felt like I had a good man and he shows me all the evidence that he's a good man, I would still remain humble at all times. At all times, I would be humble. I wouldn't be throwing my marriage up in nobody's face. I wouldn't be giving these long speeches about marriages and how to make your man stay faithful and all that. I would just be humble and I would enjoy my relationship. Let's see what Yandy had to say. Because that's how we pay our mortgage and car notes. Snap pays well. Please go look at his Snap 32 more times. LOL. Ain't that right? At Mendeecees. So you let your man post Snapchats of random big booty women to help you pay the bills? I thought you was a boss. What? Girl, stop playing. Somebody said she got an excuse for everything he does. Yeah, she's slow. She's slow. Yeah, I know y'all think that. I know y'all think that, y'all lose respect for us. The more y'all see women like Rashida and Yandy on the internet putting up with certain things and making excuses for it, I know it just make y'all lose respect for women as a whole. She know what she doing. Yeah. Exactly. Just be quiet and enjoy the relationship. Yeah. And that don't mean you can't post pictures with your husband. I feel like you shouldn't stunt with your man. You shouldn't try to stunt on other people or stunt on other women or be like, well, my man would never. Sis, you don't know that. You really don't. And actually, I'm gonna say this: some of my men would never. Women are with men that they know for facts already did. So they just be crazy and delusional, and their value and self esteem is too tied up in men, which is why situations like the one I'm about to show you happen, which is crazy. I'm about to let me see if I hope I saved it. No, did I save it? Let me see if I can remember what page it was on. I think it was on site. This lady right here. So, this is a woman who wrapped her entire value up into men to where she physically harmed her man for trying to leave her and is now facing charges. So it says scorn lover slashes boyfriend after he attempted to end their relationship. Said, I am not leaving until I see you bleed. So Marieni Yanez, 29, reportedly flew into a fit of rage when her boyfriend, who was also 29, told her he wanted to end their relationship. She allegedly grabbed a pair of knives and stabbed her boyfriend's safe, causing $100 in damage. So she stabbed the safe. Nassau County cops and prosecutors said she then threatened him, stating, I am not leaving until I see you bleed, according to a criminal complaint. Yanez kept her word and attacked her partner, slashing him on the forearm, reports revealed. There was a blood trail left in the kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom floors of their home, officials said. Afterwards, Yanez dropped the knife, called an Uber, and took him to a nearby hospital, as stated in the complaint. When the police responded to the incident around 9:30 p.m., they arrived in an empty home. Yanez was later arrested at the hospital and charged with assault and criminal possession of a weapon. She pleaded not guilty during her arraignment on Wednesday. Judge Veronica Renta Irwin ordered her to stay away from her partner, and she's been placed on electronic monitoring. So I'm just going to say this. Latinas, I love y'all. I love my Latina sisters, but I feel like y'all play too much on the internet with this whole I'm crazy, I'm loca trope that y'all use with men that's feisty Latina. Okay, that comes with real consequences. Doing crazy stuff comes with real consequences. Period. It's not cute and it's not funny, and you will go to jail in 2024 for doing all that. And it looks like she got emotional, cut him up, seen what she did, and now you feeling sorry taking dude to the hospital, as she should. But this is not a game. And just because somebody breaks up with you does not mean that gives you a right to physically harm them. But when you place all your value in having a man and then acting crazy and behind him, that becomes your personality. It becomes where all your value is added. When she would have been much more effective in just saying, oh, okay, that's fine. I was thinking about breaking up too, and leaving him right where he was at and going and never calling him again. I promise you, in the long run, that would have hurt that man way more than her slashing up his forearm. Now she's the crazy ex that he got a funny story to tell when, as time passes and they're no longer together. He gonna tell everybody that he had a woman so eggplant that she slashed his forearm. You're a cool story now while you're sitting up in jail with charges. She's channeling her inner Michaela Myers right before Halloween. Yeah, we're going to call her. That's Michaela Myers, baby. Yeah, she's crazy. Keep her locked up. Them Latinas crazy. I'm telling you guys. I know a few that stab their boyfriends and take them to the hospital after. It's a whole different level, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all the stuff that these like even in Colombia, they come off as really sweet. But when I tell y'all the stuff these men be telling me about, and again, it's because the culture sees it as something cute. And also because like Latino men, they love Latino women. Like, even though they act like that, they don't hate them, or they don't like, oh, we don't want to date them anymore. Like, no, that's not the mentality. They just kind of have the mentality of, well, that's just how they are, you know? So it's like, because there's a lot of enabling, they behave this way, but times are different. You will be held accountable as a woman for physically attacking your boyfriend. Like, walk away. All right, guys. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Yandy's and Mendeecees. I think that whole situation is a mess. I think Yandy is going to get every bit of what she deserves if she continues to stay with him and attack other women just for simply telling the truth. But I guess it's them against the world, baby. Now, I'm going to get to this Corey Holcomb interview. Now, to be clear, guys, I've never watched any of his comedy at all. And just from what I've seen, like on this interview he did with Cam Newton, I'm not really impressed by his personality, to be honest. But people say he's funny, and I guess he has a huge cult following. People seem to like him. But I'm gonna show y'all the clip that caught my attention. Okay, let me share it with y'all. Men like Corey are the reason why there's a 4B movement. Yeah. And like, he's going to talk about here, I'll go through the clip and I'll explain it.
I don't think monogamy exists. I think every once in a while you meet a dude and he only with his girl. Very rare. We are men. We, especially men who have means.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's the majority for sure. But I do think there are plenty of men that are out here who only deal with one woman. Now, is it enough of them to go around? Probably not. But I'm saying this from my own personal experience. And a lot of people will be like, well, if you've met these men, why aren't you together? There are men who are disciplined. Okay. I have met men who found me attractive, or we were talking, but they were disciplined enough to say, I have a woman at home and I'm faithful. I have come across those men. So when people try to make it seem like all men cheat, that's not true. I've had men who they might have found me attractive, but they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I have a woman at home, and whoop de woo. Nice conversation. I enjoyed the conversation. Or, hey, you know what? I have things going on right now that I don't want to get you involved in. I've met men like that, y'all. So this narrative and nice looking men, intelligent men who had things going on for themselves. So this whole narrative that any type of man that got any little thing going for him is sexually undisciplined and doesn't do the right thing and moves without morals and integrity, that is not true. Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to watch it. I've come across them too, Mariah. Yes. And I think if most women would be honest, we can say that we've met men like this who actually care about the way that their actions affect other people, who do not wait until they've already done something with you to finally tell you they got a girlfriend or a wife, who like from the jump, this is what's going on, and because this is going on, I'm not even trying to give you a chance to decide whether or not you do or do not want to be involved. We're not going to be involved, period. That's not how I move. That's not how I'm rocking. Do y'all understand? There are men out here like that. So this whole narrative that undisciplined, I feel like a lot of men who are very undisciplined and don't want to develop discipline, they want to paint a narrative to every woman that all men behave the way that they behave. And why would they want to do that? Because then you lose hope. And when you lose hope, you'll start settling for anything. Well, I might as well be this man's side chick because I ain't never gonna find a man that is single and willing to just date me. Oh, well, I might as well put up with my man cheating because all men are gonna cheat. So if I leave him, the next man I go to is just gonna cheat on me. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've never cheated. I got my heart broken in college due to cheating. That's a feeling I wouldn't wish on anyone. Okay, yeah. I'm telling y'all, there are men out here who do not cheat. The comments he made in this interview with Cam are Corey's true feelings, Skinny. I think so. I'll check it out. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, we're going to watch quite a bit of it today. A person's views of the world is a reflection of their character. Corey is a great example of this. Yeah, we're going to watch quite a bit of this, y'all. I'm going to go to the YouTube clips that Cam chopped up, but they're longer form videos, but we'll watch this for now.
If you're a man who has means, you have women. And if you say it ain't true, you're not being genuine. I know your girl probably watching, but if you could just think how sweet it would be if you could talk to your girl for real. Do you know the harmony that might be able to come from that? But you didn't pick a girl you could talk to for real. You picked a girl that you're willing to act for as long as you can keep her.
Because they don't respect those women. The women who men can sit up and tell her to her face, I'm going to cheat on you and deal with other women, even if that woman is beautiful, the moment she accepts that, even if that man stays with her and takes care of her and pays the bills, he no longer respects her. And it's not something that he can help. Because these men know if it were me, I ain't going for it. He already know, oh, I'm dealing with a dummy. Or she might not be the chick I thought she was if she's willing to accept that. So yeah, they'll tell us, oh yeah, we want a woman who we can tell everything to, where we can be best friends and shit, we can joke about this. He don't want her like that.
That's what most people are in that situation. But we men, we got money, especially men who got money. You got girls. You can't not be with them. There's too many beautiful women in the.
You can if you were getting women before you had the money. See, I'm a firm believer in who you are with money is who you were when you were broke. You just become more of that when you have money. There are men who were able to get women before they had the money, and before they got the money, had women throwing it at them, but went to like grew to a point in their life where they were like, nah, I'm good, or I just got one chick. And they were disciplined before the money. Y'all understand? Or they developed that discipline before the money. Because I feel like a lot of men, when they're young and just learning women and navigating women, cheat. And then there are men who grow out of that, right? And decide that that's not what they want for their lives. For them, though, that's another thing women have to understand. A man doesn't get with a woman and decides, I'm not going to cheat for her. It has to be a decision that he makes based off of principle. Women too. Women too, because if the only thing that's keeping you from cheating is your love from another person, then your feelings change from day to day. And that ain't even really love, but I'm not getting into that. But you could care about somebody today and wake up tomorrow and not give a damn. But whether or not you are going to be faithful, that has to be based on principle. That has to be regardless of who I'm with, I'm not going to cheat. And a lot of that sexual discipline has to be developed in your single period as well. With you deciding, okay, just because I'm single don't mean I'm going to sleep with every woman that throws something my way.
The world to just lie to one girl and be like, look, I'm only with you. That's some bullshit, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. I can't be with nobody like that.
But you keep mentioning.
Now, what I will say, I agree with him on is if you know that you can't be faithful, go find you the woman that is going to go for that. Period. Go find you a woman that you can tell that you are going to have other women and be sleeping with other women, and she's going to be okay with that. Stay out of these women who want a monogamous partner face. So I agree with him 1000% on that.
Certain things. I'm curious to know this. You keep mentioning women in poverty. Why? Like, what's your?
Well, I'm older now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So women in poverty, I can control them better. A girl who can't afford to say, fuck you, Corey, I'm gone. She just can't afford to do it. So I take advantage of that. Now, that might be wrong, but her poverty and my needs, most of the time, it even out. I don't really need a lot of their time. I don't think monogamy exists.
Okay, so I mean, let's keep it a buck. Look at Corey Holcomb. I don't see anything even remotely attractive about this man. I'm trying to find something. Give me a minute. No, I don't see it. I don't see anything attractive. He don't really have too much going for him other than money that he can provide. And to be honest, the only women who are going to date him are women who need to get the light bill paid. So he looked like the type that go to women's house and she sleep with him for the light bill. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. She get on the phone and tell her homegirls how nasty he is. Okay. So, I mean, in that regard, he has to get it how he lives. But I mean, that is a true sentiment. There are a lot of men who only like dealing with broke women because they're easy to please and they can control them. And no, yeah, you can't. If I cheat on you, you can't leave. You don't got no money. Where you gonna go? So you gotta stay here. Period. I was listening to Dave. If y'all don't know Dave, he is a UK rapper. He's actually one of my favorite rappers, right? But and that song he did with Central C called Sprinter, he said, I love chilling with broke bitches. Cause if you book one flight, they all impressed. And if they impress, they're gonna do anything to be able to stay on this trip or continue to go on future trips with you. That's just how that is. I sent my 14-year-old sister this clip yesterday and stressed the importance of her focusing on her financial independence before anything else. It gives people less opportunities to play with you. Yes. And ladies, like the message needs to be from listening to Corey Holcomb, go get your education and go get your money so that you don't have to sleep with Corey Holcombs for the light bill or the rent money. Like, and if you do got to do that for now, you know, because I understand there are like women who are in extreme poverty who it's like, okay, you could go tell them, go get a job, but the only job they can get is a job at McDonald's, or maybe their area doesn't have other opportunities. Cool. If you're going to be doing all that, at least try to take that money and put it into your education or put it into some type of career that you want to do so that you don't have to lay on your back with Corey Holcombs forever. Like eventually you want to get from up underneath their thumb. So it is what it is. But I mean, a lot of men think like this. He wasn't lying. But again, I don't feel like he's speaking for all. I think he's speaking for a lot. I think he's speaking for many men who are in power. I think he's speaking for many men who have money. But then again, there are these men, and I don't even feel like they're unicorns. I feel like they're an overlooked group. There are men who have money, who have discipline, who don't cheat either because they don't do it on principle or they don't want to deal with the stress of it. It's not worth it to them, and they're not that thirsty to if they're so focused on other things, sex ain't running through their mind all the time. Now, we're going to go to YouTube and we're going to see what Corey Holcomb has to say about BBLs. Now, I was watching on the 3G's channel. Y'all know what AP and Binky and GMS and Pac G. I watched them give their perspective on this yesterday. So I wanted to come give mine.
Said in large part, women are getting these.
So basically, Corey Holcomb said that if a woman has a BBL, she has a mental illness. So let's
to their body. I'm paraphrasing here because that's what men want. So on one front, you're saying like, yo, being natural, work with what you got. That's cool. But when a woman sees what a man wants, that's the look that they're going to get. So they're just trying to be sought after by a man, because if you want a fat ass, if you want perky breasts, if you want, good teeth or certain things that looks good or that's satisfying to you, they're going to get it. And that's not a natural look, or they don't have the time, discipline, or effort to get it naturally. So they want instant gratification. So how do you get mad at a woman for wanting that, but that's something that you are also attracted to?
Well, I'm not mad at them for
okay, I'm gonna stop this. Let me say this. I am not anti-plastic surgery. Matter of fact, I told y'all I have lipedema. So I'm actually having to lose a lot of weight now so that I can have liposuction on my legs and my arms. So if for those of y'all who don't know, lipedema it's like a disease to where the fat in certain areas, primarily your extremities, like your legs and your arms, is extremely resistant to fat weight loss. So for example, I will work out and I will lose weight at my waist. That's what my doctor was even telling me. Like, for the amount that I weigh and for the amount of fat that's in my legs and my arm, my waist is very small in proportion. So the weight will go down in my waist. It will go down in my face. It is very difficult to get it off of my arms. And like, yes, over a very, very long period of time of just eating like literally meat and vegetables, I could probably get it down to where I want to get it to, but I don't want to live like that for the rest of my life. So I'm going to get this fat removed, period. Another thing, if my breast ever started sagging, I would absolutely go get some work done because it hurts. Oh my God. Like, this is the first time in my life that I have been a C cup, and I don't see how women walk around with that much meat on their chest. And then on top of that, if they get to sagging, I can only imagine how uncomfortable y'all feel when you go to sleep. So I am absolutely not anti-surgery. I think the reasons why you get it matters. Like, there are health benefits to having certain type of surgeries. I'm even going to say there's a health benefit to having a BBL, even though it's unsafe. Probably the most unsafe surgery. For example, okay, now I'm speaking as a woman who all my life I done had junk in the trunk, right? When you sit down for a long time and you don't have any cushion between you and a chair, and a wooden chair, let's say you go somewhere and that's all there is a wooden or plastic chair, I imagine your butt hurts. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like that would be extremely uncomfortable.
whatever they do. But I'm here to tell you, if you walking around here with a body that's superficial, you're going to get superficial results. I promise you, you're going to get superficial results. Every girl, I had the girl, she got the BBL. I was there for her when she got off the plane. I nurtured her until the blood stopped coming out of her ass. I was there for her. And in the end, it looked good. but it looked good for fucking, not for keeping and creating a legacy with and trying to be with you. I'm not trying to be with you. I'm trying to fuck you and give you a couple of dollars.
Corey, who wants to be with you and create a legacy with you? And that's what he doesn't understand. I guess in this situation, it's a like attracts like thing, because maybe it was a situation where maybe he paid for her BBL, because he's talking about he nurtured her with the blood coming out. It's like, sir, you were just the dude to pay for the BBL so that I could go get the man I actually want. Because, I mean, who wants to create and build a legacy with a man that behaves the way that he behaves? Because any woman, he's already said, any woman that's going to be his wife would have to accept the fact that maybe she looked like the wife, but he's out cheating with the BBL baddies. So what are we talking about here? Now, he's not lying. The bigger your butt is, the more unwanted attention that you get. And a lot of the times, big butts attract men that are in poverty, period. Um, that just is what it is, versus men who are extremely wealthy or who are rich. They like more of a slender look. Like, you don't have to have anything for a lot of them. No butt, no breasts. They like a more, but even that comes with some things sometimes, because some of those men like uh women who have bodies that resemble children more. It's very weird when we start talking about these things. And this is not to talk bad about any woman who doesn't have a big butt or big breasts. I'm just talking about the psyche of a lot of these rich men. Yes, the bigger your butt, the more people assume that you're promiscuous just because you have a big butt. The more you will attract men who are poor, and the more you will attract like things like catcalling, and it's just something you're not going to be able to get away from. Another thing is, if you have a big butt, you have to go to the gym. Like, it's non-negotiable at that point because of gravity. The same way these BBLs start falling due to gravity and sagging, a natural butt will do that too. So whether it's natural or a BBL, just know if you got a big butt, you signing up for a lot of heavy lifting in the gym. Okay, unless you can somehow figure out a way to just lose the booty meat, but even that's going to be hard to keep off.
Because I know what to keep you around. If you went and got a BBL, it's because you don't have the confidence to face the world as you are. And it's okay. You're just not for a man who is really trying to make sure his legacy with a woman is something that is not trendy. I don't want you to be a trendy thing in my life. If I'm looking for somebody that
Cha-Cha, you know what? We're going to have to talk, because like I feel like this is such a deep and complex conversation. And a lot of people don't like to keep it real. And I would like to, because I'm speaking from a perspective of being a thicker woman and observing these things. And I don't want to come off as somebody who is hating on women who are skinnier and petite. I think I've seen so many women who are skinny and petite are beautiful. I'm trying to get my weight down myself. But I would love to hear your experiences.
That is going to be the mainstay is probably not going to be a woman with a BBL. Because I know that's mental illness to let somebody crack your ass open.
You can,
put some motherfucking Air Jordan shit up in there and sew it back up. That is not a mentally stable woman. Bitches with BBLs crazy than a motherfucker. But you can fuck them all day long. I like looking at the BBL when they wash up in the sink.
Last thing.
Wash up in the sink.
You said that's the plan to get fucked, not the plan to get cuffed.
Of course. Do you disagree with that? I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but I'm just saying.
That's another thing, ladies. If you got a big butt, you can't do what the skinny girls do. You cannot go wash up in the sink. You got to get your behind in some water. Like, you got to spread them. You got to let that water fall in between. Like, there's no such thing as bird baths. when you got a big booty or a BBL. That's not how that go. Um,
A woman who
wild.
walking around superficial. I don't think she can get a man who is intelligent and out here doing what he's supposed to do, living his reality, living his.
That's a lie. So it depends on the woman. A lot of this comes down to I have seen women who have BBLs and have had everything done, but they are not ghetto and ratchet, and they make boss moves and boss decisions, and they only deal with a certain caliber of men, and they take care of themselves, and they're not out here all over social media making a fool of themselves, right? I have seen this. I've known some of these women personally. There's another woman who I don't think she's had, well, I don't know. I don't think she's had a BBL, but we know she's had work done. We know she has fake boobs, and she's always, nice figure, works out, works hard in the gym. Her name is Chanel Disser. And if y'all don't know Chanel Disser, she is with the man who is on Nice and Neat podcast named Duke. Okay, so she looked good, and she fine, and she on her purpose, and her man looked good, and he fine, and he on his purpose, and I believe he used to play in the NFL. And they have what appears to be a pretty solid relationship, and he seems, you listen to him talk, he seems very, very level-headed, focused, and driven. I mean, him and Cam Newton and Corey Holcomb don't even compare, right? These men are not on his level mentally, and he's got him a baddie that has had work done. And at the very least, we know for sure she's had it done on her breast, right? But she's bad, beautiful. And there are a lot of women who get BBLs who go to the gym and have discipline and didn't go get a BBL just so they can sit up and eat all the McDonald's that they want and not have to deal with being fat.
Real shit. You're not gonna get that man. You're gonna get that man that's looking for something that he can get whatever he can get.
There's not a lot of places that you can be respected in with I would say, I use respect very, probably should not use that word. But
take it back then.
I'll take it back. There's not a lot of places where it's accepted for you to show up voluptuous. Is it voluptuous or voluptuous?
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous. Bulging breasts, bulging buns, and just that's okay. You're talking to a man that, yeah, I could go to Magic City, but I also can go to the White House.
No, you can't.
Okay.
The White House. What you mean? Would the president be?
Yeah.
What?
Y'all, Cam Newton is so delusional, and he thinks that he is the caliber of man that he absolutely is not. First of all, Cam, there's not too many places where you can show up with that damn hat on and them Yogi Bear glasses and get taken seriously, sir. So I don't know what he's talking about. You are a football player, right? When you show up to these places where there are presidents, where there are people who pull strings behind the scenes, the people with real money, you are merely a court gesture. They're not asking you for your opinions, nor do they care what you have to say. And that's not to talk down on Cam Newton. That is just the reality of the situation. I don't know why he is deluding himself into thinking that he is a higher caliber of man than what he is. And to be honest, a woman showing up with either one of these men on their hands would devalue themselves in the eyes of men who have real money. They are more of a liability to a woman with the BBL than what a woman with the BBL would be to them. Y'all understand? Like a woman with a BBL and got all this surgery and stuff going on makes them look better when they show up with these women. But to a man that has real money that he didn't make doing a comedy show or running the ball on the field, to a man that got long money, he's gonna look at her and her stock's gonna immediately go down because she showed up with either one of them. sometimes these men, they are delusional and they don't understand how the game goes.
What's at the White House?
You ain't never been to the White House?
No.
A woman is better off showing up with the BBL at the White House with the man who has no name, but he comes in there looking nice and spiffy and presentable, and people don't really know who he is. She better off showing up with that man than she is showing up to the White House with Cam Newton. Okay.
I've seen it. I drove past it.
Okay.
And I say that in terms of if this woman is showing up to these places with the intentions to social climb. She better off not showing up with either one of them.
Okay. Well, you're talking to a person that I can go to the hood, but I also can go to a boardroom. Okay, I can go to the hole in the wall, but I also can go to the red carpet. I can go to, Turks and Caicos and, have one of those, a good time, but I also am needing somebody to go to a boardroom meeting or a foundation meeting or you see what I'm saying? There's levels to.
Okay, but Cam Newton, you walking around, both of them, look at the hats that both of these men have on. Look at the hair. Well, Corey Holcomb's hairstyle is okay. Look at Cam Newton's hairstyle. And that ain't to knock the brothers that have the dreads or anything like that. I'm being realistic in terms of what these really, really rich people think. You're not going into these boardroom meetings and getting taken any more seriously than the girl who showed up with the BBL. Let's stop being delusional. You're just not. Kevin Samuel's spirits live on through these men. Yeah. Remember the Erica Banks rich homie situation? Not only did her stock with men drop due to her running her mouth, but also due to the type of man she was dealing with, a washed up rapper. Yeah. And honestly and truly, she already looked bad dealing with Finesse 2 times before him. So it's like, okay, people just keep saying that you're dealing with raggedy after raggedy after raggedy. And, Rich Homie Quan, we all listen to him during college, so I'm not trying to talk bad about him. I'm just giving the reality of the situation to what other people see. And then on top of that, her behavior. And then on top of that, you done look like you done had 3 rounds of BBL surgery. So again, I'm not saying that what Cam Newton and Corey Holcomb is saying is wrong. I feel like there are several factors and variables that you have to consider. Like a woman that goes and gets a BBL that looks like the BBL that Lori Harvey has, she's never going to have a problem dating men who are wealthy, period, because she looks good. She's still very slender and skinny and petite, but she had a BBL to help round up her shape. And she works out and goes to the gym and takes care of herself. So yes, there are levels to these things. I think they think that they're at a higher level than what they actually are. Like, y'all don't look like y'all deserve. I don't even want to say deserve. They don't look like women who have really petite bodies and are doctors or lawyers are going to be showing up with anywhere with either one of them. Yeah, Corey looked like he got skid marks on his drawers.
The homie Willie D called those women. He said they got to be ready for the show. The show is when you walking with me. You got to be ready for the show at all times. If you ain't ready for the show, I can't use you like you want to be used.
Imagine you went and spent thousands of dollars on a BBL surgery and you walking in a room with Corey Holcomb and people see you with him in public.
A woman who ready for the show, who can go to, this and that.
Yeah.
Women need to be
Skip the video. Skip.
God,
If you want to rest from facing the truth. Hi.
And that's why people
ready for
should never got on the internet with that message that women's looks only matter and men's do not, because that is absolutely not true. The type of man that you walk around with and how he looking and how he carries himself and the way that he speaks in public, that can absolutely affect your ability to date men of higher caliber in the future, guys. It can, ladies. So stop believing that.
the show, especially when they out with, as the late brother said, a high value man. If you're not ready for the show, you playing yourself. If you're around,
let me tell you something. I'd rather be with a man who is a blue collar man, that makes $60,000 or $70,000 a year, that has good morals, a decent head on his shoulders, is handsome, and doesn't walk around talking the way that Corey Holcomb talks. Corey Holcomb could have $1 million in the bank, 50 million. Hell, he could be a billionaire, and I will date the man that lives in my neighborhood, who I feel like people are not going to be looking at me crazy when they see me walking around with him. I would date him before I would date a Corey Holcomb. I promise you I would.
Somebody who's of caliber. And I think they need to be taught that. Yeah. You can't be at the airport with a bonnet on if you out here with me.
Sir, look, what?
You just can't do it. And if I do allow it, trust me.
Y'all, do y'all see this outfit this man has on? And he's over here talking about women and their bonnets. Look at these goofy hats both of them have on. And they're over here talking about women in their bonnets. Granted, I'm not walking around the airport with a bonnet either. I'm just not doing it. Okay? But they don't have any room to talk.
It's a diss to you. Because if I care about you, I ain't gonna let you run the streets with me like that. Yeah. You can't run the streets with me like that. You gotta be ready for the show. You see that picture right there? He got a picture of Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. They ready for the show. Look at them. They just out in public. They ready for the show. If you're a woman and you want to be cuffed, chose, put up there on his pedestal, you gotta be ready for the show. And I'm not saying a BBL don't mean that you're not ready for the show. Right. But what I'm saying is.
Okay, now I'm going to say this. Like, yes, as a woman, your looks matter. And I feel like like me personally, in my own life, y'all, I'm not ever walking out of my door looking any kind of way. So I'm not going to get on here and lie to y'all and tell y'all that it doesn't matter when I have seen the benefits of making sure at the very least you walk out with your eyebrows on point, your lashes on point, your lips on point, and some earrings, and your hair looking some type of pulled together, because people will step over another woman's unalive body to open the door for you. If you come out and you got your basics together, it matters. It determines whether or not a police officer is going to give you a ticket. It determines whether or not somebody's going to do you a favor at some type of office that you need to go handle some business in. I promise you, it matters. Okay. With that said, ain't nobody putting in all that work to be walking around with a Corey Holcomb, sir. It ain't gonna be for you. You're not who women are trying to be seen with.
If you got a BBL, you can still be ready for the show. But when it's time to choose the queen, you probably gotta go. That's all I'm saying. When you ready.
Okay, you're just now coming in, but I was telling everybody I saw the episode that y'all did on Corey Holcomb and Cam Newton, and y'all were talking about the BBLs. So that inspired me to give my little reaction to this. But y'all, this is GMS. He has his own show for those of y'all who are watching me. Y'all don't know. And he's also on the 3Gs podcast. So y'all check them out whenever you get an opportunity.
To choose the queen. You gonna choose the queen with the BBL? My bad, that was a BBL bitch right there.
Okay, but the queen also is not trying to be walking around with the jester like you. Okay, let's continue.
What you gonna do? I'm saying, I believe I'm putting something in your mind, Cam, that you never thought of.
Oh, no, trust me.
The BBL can be the queen?
No, trust me.
You can marry a crazy bitch.
BBL don't mean you crazy.
How is it not? Do you know what a BBL is? Do you know the procedure of getting the BBL?
Understood, but it's like, since we're keeping it fun, it's almost like dosage of steroids. Like you can get, or let's say coffee, right? So you could get a Frappuccino. That's just a little bit of coffee. You could get latte. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to get a straight, full, whole cup of espresso, that's a lot of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to.
Y'all, and that's what I was saying earlier. There is a difference between a Lori Harvey BBL on a petite body, and the butt still looks, it's plump, it's round, but it's, you got the BBL to round out the shape, but it's still reasonable versus that big old Erica Banks, look like you had 3 rounds of BBL surgery BBL. So Corey Holcomb is talking about the Erica Bankses. Lori Harvey, I know we know her and y'all, we've attached her to these rappers that she's dated. But let's say you saw Lori Harvey in person and you never knew her dating history and the men that she dates. Lori Harvey could date any type of man that she wanted, regardless of socioeconomic status, race, class, whatever. She is attractive across the board for all groups of men, period. Also, he's gonna try to make it seem like having a BBL is different than getting breast implants, right? And that just, like, the truth is, guys, men have a different psyche around the butt than they do around the breast. Because when you think about it, he's saying, okay, you're having your butt cut up and stuffed. Well, that's exactly what's going on with breast implants. And with breast implants, most of the time, they're not even putting your own fat back into your breast. You're getting a silicone implant literally stuffed into your chest. Okay. But he's going to make an exception for that. And I think women just have to understand that men see the butt, for whatever reason, I don't know, as something that is very different than what they see the breast.
Impact you in that type of way. Mm-hmm. I'm not opposed of body shaming. I'm not saying that, oh man, anybody who gets fake anything from liposuction to Botox no, it's within reason. Just make it look natural.
Hello.
Just don't make all the eyes around you to be like, yo, did you see that motherfucker's ass? Because that happens with a natural body. That happens with, damn, she's gorgeous. Look at her titties. Geez, she got some. That can happen.
And that's true, but that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all too. Like, this is not just a matter of whether the butt is real or fake. I have a friend who is, I've known since high school. She's virally famous. Like, if I showed you a picture of her, you'd probably say, I've seen her. She was one of those women who used to be a barber, had a big butt. She looks like she's had about 5 rounds of BBL surgery. She never had a BBL in her life, right? And it's like people sexualize her. It's like to the point where her whole personality has to be her butt. And she makes a lot of money off of it on the internet and people looking at her butt, but it's so big that it's like you can't ignore it. You can't get around it. You can't pretend that it's not there. And people have put her into this box of, okay, you're the big booty chick, right? So there are definitely a lot of downsides that come with having an extremely large butt. And these girls go into these surgeries or go get all these rounds of BBL surgeries thinking that it's going to change their life for the better. And it doesn't. A BBL never made a man act right. It's women that are with men and they got flat booties and they can get a man to act right, or not even get a man to act right. They can attract men who already act right way more than a girl who has a big butt. The bigger the butt, the lower quality of men that you you're going to attract, period. The worse that you're going to get treated, period. Lori is slim thick. I don't know who Tiffany Henyard is, Cha Cha. But I'll look her up. So I'll look her up, and yeah, we can definitely do that. I think it's funny how some guys expect certain things from a woman, but still out here looking ridiculous or dressed like a fool. Exactly. I could have respected this more if these men were on here looking like the men that are on Nice and Neat podcast. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull those brothers up. Uh right now so I can show y'all how they go on their podcast looking. And this is a really good podcast. And for those of y'all who like, there are a lot of people who try to make it seem like, or that know me, who try to make it seem like I be getting on black men. And no, I really don't. It's Corey Holcomb and Cam Newton. But let me show y'all some brothers who come out looking respectable. One second. Who come out looking respectable and articulate.
Like, nah, like what are they? And I ran them off to her.
Hold on 1 second.
Good, look good, woman to be attracted to me.
Y'all see these brothers?
For me, is a defense mechanism.
Now, y'all see this man right here, Duke. Okay, when you listen to him talk, he's always intelligent, always articulate. This is the one that goes with Chanel. That has, she works out, but she's got a boob job, a baddie, all of that.
If you desire to have a different body, and I agree with you, and my body shaming, truthfully, like, we should be in the kindest way acknowledging that about people around us. Like, yo, bro, like you should be in better shape.
Beyond looking better, I know it's going to make you better. I know you're going to.
Do y'all see how these men talk? Do y'all see how they articulate themselves? Do y'all see how they dress and take care in their appearance? They don't necessarily look like, white men, but they look really well kept and clean cut. They don't look like goofies sitting up talking with each other. They look like they know what they're talking about. Okay. So, and these men don't necessarily share the same viewpoints and mindsets as Corey Holcomb. I've listened to them. You don't hear these men having the same conversations that Corey Holcomb sits up and have. I'm sorry, you don't. Okay, Lori is slim thick. Exactly, Carlos. Mariah, okay, I've read that already. 19 Keys, that man is so well groomed. No, I don't know him. I'm gonna have to look him up. Let me go back to this interview.
Happened regardless. So I'm not sitting up here saying, yo, if you get a BBL, you're stupid. No, what I am saying is just make it be like make it make sense.
It's a form of mental illness, brother. If you crack your ass open and put stuff in it, you're crazy, man.
But do you keep the same energy?
I think it depends on the reasons. I think it depends on how much you get done. All of that matters. That's a very general statement to make.
With fake titties.
Fake titties. I don't like fake titties. They feel like wintertime dirt.
But do you say the same thing about any type of Botox enhancement to whatever?
Well, Botox, in my opinion, it's not as aggressive as ass that's been dug open and
But there's
stuff.
many different
But there's
forms of BBL. Like you can get Botox in your hips. You could get both. Like there's certain procedures that it's not. When you say BBL, it's many different forms of enhancements. That's what I'm saying to you. And my thing is just keep it cute, baby. I'm not sitting up here trying to go from a cup to a double D. Like that's Jesus Christ.
Cam, if a woman walked up to me and said, motherfucker, I was hustling when I did this. This is what I had to do to get it at the time. I was hustling. Do you know that opens up my mind to make me see, okay,
Girl, okay, look, now you already know that big toe is black. Girl, you already know that big toe is black. Let's not play. You already know them feet dusty. With that said, I do agree with what he's saying here. Like, I think it looks crazy when women do certain things for attention and they're not getting paid. So, like, if you go get you a big old BBL just so that you can be working at McDonald's, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have a corporate job and you're already making money, you already got money, that makes absolutely no sense for you to go get an Erica Banks BBL. If you go get an Erica Banks BBL and you are working in the strip club, that actually makes sense. I don't see what, like, that has nothing to do with mental illness. You made a calculation that based on what you were seeing going on in the club, the girls that have the biggest booties are making the most money. So you decided to go invest in your butt so that you could make more money. That absolutely does make sense. But I see so many women doing so many challenges and doing things on the internet that they're not really getting paid or making no money off of. And they are wanting to live the same way that these IG girlies or model type girlies or these rapper baddies are living and doing the same thing that they're doing. But those women are getting paid to uphold these type of images. The stripper girlies are getting paid to look that way. If you're just a regular girl with a regular job, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you're more likely to get the things you want out of life that genuinely matter to you being that way. But you have no business getting an Erica Banks BBL. That does give mentally ill. Like, you just did that for attention.
get it. You was hustling. You was out there lost without your leader, which is a man. You was out there. I can understand stories like that. But most women get BBLs because of vanity. It is not nothing to do with their grind. When you out here trying to make it, man, you would do some of anything, man. I used to do dirt when I was a young man trying to get some money. I grew out of it because it wasn't in me to try to always sneak the next man. It wasn't in me to do it like that. So I wasn't real good at it because I always felt like I'm doing some dirt. Vanity is dirt. It's a major sin. You know what I'm saying? If you out here getting a BBL because you want to look a certain way, you a crazy bitch and will be treated as so in the long run by me.
Okay, Corey Holcomb. Now,
That's just me.
don't be a hypocrite. Now you over here talking about dirt and sins and things like that, but you were just talking about in this last clip having a whole bunch of premarital sex and thinking that that's okay and acceptable behavior. So I need you to pick a side, sir. And that's the problem. This whole time, this man ain't picked a side. He done sat up here and talked about how much looks and appearances are important, but you outside on this podcast looking like Yogi Bear. Make it make sense.
Me though. You ain't got to worry about me though. I'm just one man. God damn it. Shit, there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers who think your BBL is, I'm gonna marry her. That girl got a big old booty. She got it done. Get you one of them motherfuckers. They ain't shit either.
Well, he right about that.
If your man is with you because of,
and he's right about that. If you got with a man who is with you because he's so impressed by your BBL or your body, he the wrong man too. 9 times out of 10, he ain't no different than a Corey Holcomb. He probably a simp, a trick, all of that, and all it's going to take is a woman to walk by him with a big booty too, right? That's why, again, and I'm saying this to somebody who has had a big butt for the majority of my life, you will have a harder time getting into a relationship and finding somebody that is genuinely for you, because you have to really take your time to see if they like you for you or if they like you for your body. And that's part of the reason, if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all don't see me taking a whole bunch of pictures from the back at all. I might have like a couple from the side on there, but honestly, I don't want that to be the first thing that people see when they see me online. Now, if they see me in person, it's unavoidable, but I don't want it to be my personality, because I understand what all comes with that. And I think a lot of women that have BBLs or that have big butts are not being honest with other women about it. It's not necessarily going to get you what you want out of life. And you do have to be way more careful dealing with people. Women in general already have to be careful with men and trying to make sure that men aren't just trying to sleep with them or sexualize or fetishize them. That just adds another layer on top of all that.
How you look. That's a major red flag.
Oh, thank
if
you.
If you find your queen and she looks good, that's a blessing. But your queen should be chosen not by looks, by the quality of who she is. So all these girls with BBLs, yeah, I'll fuck them. You marry a girl with a BBL, something wrong with you, man. I know a lot of people who tried it. It don't never work because you marrying somebody with a mental issue. They crazy.
Is this you being funny or is this really how you feel?
This is the real, brother.
Say that.
Does it not work because of the woman, or does it not work because of the quality of man that he was and he was looking for a woman to get a BBL? I mean, first of all, most relationships are not going to work out in general, right? But then if you have a man who got with a woman because he's attracted to her for her BBL, I could see other problems coming up in a relationship that have to deal with lust. Do y'all understand? And again, I'm gonna keep it real. I do know quite a few BBL girlies who are not right in the head, but that's not like the BBL is just like a symptom of that. 9 times out of 10, they have other things going on that let you know that she ghetto, right? And she was gonna be ghetto without that BBL.
Yes. Can we get into our game?
Come on, let's do it.
Anything else on BBLs?
No, I'm just saying, goddamn, BBL bitch is great.
Say less.
Yeah, Carlos, I think that he's saying that because of the type of women with BBLs that he deals with. But honestly, he's not a man that could attract a woman who is mentally stable, just in general. Like a woman that has any type of self-esteem, BBL or no BBL, would not date Corey Holcomb. And then on top of that, he's not going to find a woman with a BBL who has high self-esteem and is emotionally stable, who would date Corey Holcomb if they were in their right mind, just based on the way he looking, dressing, talking, acting, and things he's saying. I don't know too many women who would. I had one more clip that I wanted to show y'all. This had to do with the Dr. Bryant comments he made. He really was just coming off like a hater.
The best side hustle to do in 2024 is to get a fully remote online job that takes 2 hours a day to do and that pays $6,000 to $12,000 a month. Yes, an actual job. I know
most people.
So now, for those of y'all who didn't watch that interview that Cam Newton did with Dr. Bryant, she basically told him that because he has 3 different baby mothers and all these different homes, that he is a high functioning, low vibrational man or something like that.
ClickUp. ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and anything.
Is to come from that is, I don't want my platform to be fake. That shit.
Why would you call her a doctor, brother? I'm not saying your platform is fake at all. I'm just saying, when somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's her colleagues? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
And it was what?
I don't see doctor nowhere. If somebody is a doctor,
Okay, so if she's practicing privately, she doesn't have any colleagues. So if you're a psychiatrist, you're a doctor. If you have a doctorate in psychology, you'll be considered a doctor. So you can practice privately and not have any colleagues, sir.
They will be proud to show you I'm a doctor. She can't do it. She just says it. This is
Dr. Bryant, please, as quickly as you can, run to the internet and show your credentials. And he has a right to question her credentials. I think the reason why he's saying these things is just because he doesn't like her. But there was nothing about that woman that gave me red flags to make me think that she was not actually accredited in what she was doing.
This is a fantasy that woman is living. I mean, like, you don't see everybody to see you, Sister Bryant. We know it's a girl you call your bodyguard, but we know it's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in the streets. So I can't say what this girl is that you call in your little security sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? It's people who know y'all and they talk. So, and all this doctor stuff, I mean, come on. Where is the proof that you're a doctor? Can you just do that online instead of all of the glamour videos with all the makeup on and everything? Show us you're a doctor and how.
So is the issue whether or not she's a doctor, or is it the makeup? Is it that she be on the internet looking cute? These insecure men like this, you can't be cute. You can't put on makeup. On the one hand, he's telling women how you show up matters. On the next hand, you got a woman that's showing up, looking good, looking glamorous, and now you don't want to see that. You want to see if she a doctor or not for real, sir.
How you became a doctor and how you practice being a doctor. You're just doing internet talk like everybody else.
No, she's not. I mean, yes. Okay, first of all, everybody else on the internet, we're all just talking, right? In terms of like, I don't have a degree in psychology. So it's not her fault that people who don't have a degree in what she has a degree on gets on the internet and talks about the same things that she's talking about. But she actually has the paper behind it. And I feel like her discussions are far more nuanced than what a lot of people are having, right? She's not just on here giving her personal opinion. And some of it is going to be a little bit of your opinion, right? But this is a woman who has seen clients and patients and has a track record. So she can speak from a different lens than somebody who's, giving their perspective as a podcaster who hasn't worked with people one-on-one. You understand? So it's not her fault that people have dipped into her lane.
Except you wanted to put doctor on your name. Prove to me you're a doctor so I can eat crow and apologize. But don't come with that little nonsense online shit. That ain't gonna work on me. I know. And all that low vibrational women stuff. You used to work at the strip club, right? I would ask her that. She's talking about low vibrational women. And even if that was a time when she's not doing that now, she talked about the things that she's done to men and how she kicks up dust with men on purpose that so-called love her.
Okay, who better to talk about low vibrational behavior than somebody who has been in a low vibrational environment? This is what kills me with people who don't like accountability, right? Okay, you'll meet people who have been in the same places that you have been in and seen the same things that you have been in and learned from that and came out on the other side and want to continue to drag them back down into hell because you want to stay there. So don't go tell everybody about the real dangers and the real trauma that comes with being in the spiritual basement, because I still want to be in the spiritual basement and I want it to be socially acceptable. I only listen to people who have actually been through it, who have actually been through some things, because everybody else, you're just theorizing. You got to go through the game to get the game. I say that all the time. So what better person to listen to than somebody who's been there? That's just like people telling single mothers not to tell other women, hey, wait until you're in a serious committed relationship or marriage to have kids, or wait until you are with the supportive partner to have kids. That's just like people telling us, well, don't go say that because you didn't have kids in the right situation. Yes, that's why I know this ain't what you want. That's how life goes.
And I never saw the end of y'all video until my girl showed me this.
Girl,
when you hit her with that 50 Cent shit and she was stuck, it was classic, but that's not promoted.
But that
because she praised 50 Cent because there's opportunity maybe there for her. Now, this ain't no diss to 50 Cent. 50 Cent, you know, he walked up to her and like as she said, he was like, you're amazing or whatever. We know how the game go, but she wouldn't say nothing bad about 50 Cent because that opportunity might not be gone yet. But when the opportunity with 50 is gone, she'll be calling him low vibrational and all that. Because I don't think she really like men. I think she like women. Because I've seen some evidence of that. Now, this is what I said, I think. But women who run through men that she's with and she said.
Okay, so pause. Guys, if y'all are just now coming in, thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button. Every time you have a woman who stands up for herself, does not stay in relationships that are not serving her, the insult always goes back to she must be a lesbian, right? They try to insult you with that. Now, let's say she is a lesbian. Let's say she does date women. That doesn't invalidate what she said to Cam Newton about the broken homes. Realistically and logistically, if you have 3 different baby mothers and you got to take care of all these kids and you have to make sure you have the money to take care of all these kids, and they don't live in the same house, there are going to be some of those kids, or maybe even all of them, who are not going to be able to get the time, attention, care, and love that they need from you. Even if you want to, even if you're well-intentioned, even if you care about all of your kids, naturally, there is going to be some infighting between siblings who feel like, okay, well, we're more siblings because we got the same mama and daddy and we got a different mama than you. Naturally, you're going to have some siblings who feel like you give favor to certain women's kids and not their mother. Like, there are so many factors that go into this. So I don't care who Vanessa Bryant date. Okay, she could like dating dogs. Need to be in jail if she do. But I'm just saying, and that still wouldn't make what she said to Cam Newton wrong. So this is what they call in law, this is what they call discrediting the witness. That's what he's trying to do. And validate her statements based on who she does and does not date, or who he feels she does and does not like, and how many men she's been with. Okay, truth is truth. You may not like the messenger. You might feel like the messenger doesn't even like you. Was there truth in what she said, though? Okay, and easily distractible people will listen to what he says and think that that is making some sense, but it's not. Yeah, I definitely feel like she doesn't like those type. Thing 1 and thing 2, just spewing nonsense. Exactly.
Say she like, have you heard some of the stuff she said she did to the men that she was in relationships with?
No.
Yeah, I knew you didn't know that. I've watched that
Yeah, I
lady
knew
since
you
I was
didn't
on the
know
show
that.
with her a long time ago. I was on a show with her with one of my homeboys, Zoe Williams. He had a show. And that lady, if her real story came out, she would be a farce, I believe. I don't think she's a doctor, and I'm putting it out there. I don't think she's a doctor. If I am, show me where you got your doctor.
Okay, Dr. Bryant, please come to the front. Show the doctor. See, this is what I'm saying. Women, we need to, don't be sensitive. If you got the credentials, these are my credentials, sir. You look slow. Some women are like, oh, he wrong. Black men are always questioning a black woman's intelligence and education. No, sir. I'm going to grab this paper and I'm going to proceed to stunt on you like these type of men are always accusing us of doing. I'm going to just politely put this here. Here you go, sir. So yeah, I think that she should go ahead and put the credentials out.
Doctorate, and I would love to talk to some of your colleagues.
But I think that's not necessarily in that case how you feel, because I think that's just her direction that she wants to go. I do call Cap.
She's lying and saying she's a doctor.
No, that's a stage name for all. Even if she's not, are you gonna? She's made some great points. She's made some points that I would say in this world of content, she has provoked thought.
Give me a great thought, she said.
Well, low vibrational. Whether
That's
it's
a word.
If it's true or not, broken homes, whether it's true or not, this is something going back to influence. She has been influential in creating a narrative about high functioning men, low vibrational action. And that right there may not be true in my world or your world. And I don't get to dictate that. Unfair and unjust, yes. But when that clip goes, nobody's going to watch the 2 hours and even peep the 50 Cent situation. They're going to see
I saw it
on Spiritual
Okay,
Word.
so
They're going to
Cam,
see it on.
I watched the whole show, and in every part of that show, she was making sense in what she was telling you. So Dr. Vanessa Bryant didn't necessarily create that narrative around high functioning, low vibrational men. I've had this discussion before. I didn't word it that way, but I've had this conversation about just because a man is high value doesn't mean that he is a good man, right? So I think like at that point in time, she got that conversation re-buzzing again. But with that said, because it's truth, it's something that is easily observable, right? And we all can observe based on Cam Newton's actions and behaviors that she wasn't too far off in what she was saying. I don't think anybody is going to look at Cam Newton and listen to what Dr. Vanessa Bryant said and be like, oh, well, she's wrong, or she don't got his number. She doesn't have him figured out. She had him figured all the way out.
Shade Room. They're going to see it on this platform, that platform, and everybody going to creator hack, as they will call it in YouTube world. And then they're going to speak on Dr. Bryant calls out Cam Newton and Nick Cannon.
It was some bullshit.
But that you don't get the right to say that, because in all cases, we've seen when you say the truth, oh, that nigga ain't nothing but bitter. Oh, that nigga hating. And the truth of the matter is this: when I go back home, because it was me that was used in that, I'm still in the same situation. If anything, it has brought my situation closer because we're able to talk about that.
But you hit her upside the head.
Okay, so he's saying he was the one who was used in that situation. I wanted him to clarify on that because he asked her about his situation. He personalized the situation to where she addressed it. He was the one who brought up how, oh, well, some people would say that my situation is low. For y'all remember how he brought it up. So then she was forced to go ahead and give her opinion. Sir, you brought you into the equation. Let's start there. And of course, because you have women who in the back of their mind know that the situation that they are going through with you is not right, correct, or decent and in order, you're going to have to deal with that when you go home. And you're going to have to try to smooth that over, because here's the thing. If it was correct, if it was decent, and if it was in order, you wouldn't have to go home and explain nothing. They would already be cool and comfortable. But you're dealing with a woman who is fighting herself and trying to lie and convince herself that what she is putting up with from you is okay. So yeah, you're going to have to go home and smooth that over, because when she listened to Dr. Bryant, all of her insecurities were put on display and brought to the forefront. So yeah, you're going to have to go try to get her mind back in order. They scrambled now.
With the 50 Cent thing, he was like, is he this? And she would not exhaust that resource because she still wants to see what she can work out of that.
I didn't know. So when I asked her that question, I didn't know about, I was just reaching for any person that I'm saying to myself, okay, cool. Well, every person that has had a child and that is not with that person has created a broken home. So I'm like, yo, a person who I admire, I'm like, yo,
Curtis, she ain't got no kid.
But
let me tell you why you ain't got no kid. Because you can't make a kid with the person you with, can you? Don't get mad at me if I'm telling the truth now.
Okay.
I ain't saying this.
Maybe she doesn't want kids. Is this supposed to be an insult? So he's trying to insinuate that she's a lesbian and she has a lesbian relationship. Okay, maybe she doesn't want any kids. Maybe that doesn't matter. And just because a person doesn't have kids doesn't mean they can't speak on people who have kids. And I'm saying this as a woman with kids. I've listened to plenty of people who don't have children give advice about raising children that I've heard and said, that's correct, that's valid, or I've actually seen this to be true in my own personal life raising a kid. I've also heard people who don't have kids who give advice on kids where that lets me know you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Because you ain't been there. I've also seen people with kids give terrible advice about child rearing. So I'm struggling to understand the point that he's trying to make here. Guys, if y'all are just now coming in, please hit the like button. That helps everybody know that I'm on live. Thank you.
This is a fact, but I'm saying.
But you can't say that though.
People who know you put your business out there, ma'am. So most people don't know. The average civilian don't know. But people who know you know who that girl is who you call your security. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. Boom.
Can we move on or you want to still stay here?
Get it. Let's go somewhere else.
Say less. In your opinion, last thing on this though, but I'm like, this is my truth to this. And this is my last take on Dr. Bryant. I think she came here and she used the platform for what it was intended for her to do. So much so, I don't even think prior to her coming on this platform, she had 1 million followers on Instagram. That's a Snapple fact.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why she came here is because, I really want to have thought-provoking conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And in some of those conversations, I don't get to choose where I'm just always talking and saying like, yo, bro, well, I don't think what you're doing is right. Some of that is, yeah, bro, what you're doing is wrong. So I took the risk and said, when I sent over, the truth is this, when I sent over her name to talent at Iconic Saga, everybody's like, who?
Right. You blew her up.
I'm not saying that.
No, it's
okay, but you're trying to imply it. Like if you weren't trying to imply it, then you wouldn't even brought that up, right? So the bottom line is you liked her enough to where you thought she was somebody that was worthy of having on your podcast. What's the point in trying to tell people that she was nobody before you now, or trying to imply that? Now he's letting Corey Holcomb do the dirty work of, making it seem like she was an unknown and actually saying it, but he knows what he's getting at. And this is what I'm trying to say. Men like Cam Newton play so many mental games, and he's trying to do this whole good cop, bad cop thing when it comes to Dr. Bryant. He clearly feels a way that this woman had everybody on his head for like weeks straight, but whatever.
I'm not saying, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I blew her up. What I am saying is she's definitely maximized, not from the Nick Cannon, because not a lot of people seen that. But when you came on my platform and you spoke how you spoke, whether I believed in it or not, or whether you believed in it wholeheartedly or not, it has elevated you in this realm of go sis, let's impact, keep these, in check. And all I'm saying is, okay, she's from Cam Newton's Funky Friday. She's went on to B. Simone. She's went on to other situations. I'm not mad at that.
B. Simone, ain't that the girl who stole the book?
Then why bring it up?
B. Simone.
Then why bring it up? If you're not mad about it, if you don't care, Why make it a point to let everybody know that she wouldn't be getting the hype that she's getting if she did not come on Cam Newton's show? Now, with that said, he's not lying. I didn't know her before I watched her on Cam Newton's show, right? But I'm saying he's doing it in the wrong spirit and trying to make it seem like that's not what he's doing.
She stole the book.
She stole the book. Do you know about that?
Empower me.
Yes, we all know that B. Simone stole the book. She's moved on since then.
She stole the book. She claimed the book that wasn't hers, that somebody else wrote. You really don't know about this?
I straight face, right hand.
She did.
I don't know.
It ain't hard to find.
Say less, and I will. Okay. But in this particular situation, I'm like, yo, I've done my job, and you've done your job to impact and elevate. So when I had mentioned, this is what I was saying. When I had mentioned the Curtis Jackson, the 50 Cent, at the time she Euroed out of it, I didn't know she was potentially trying to work with.
Look, we saw it, brother. There are people who ain't looking with that average eye. There are people who watching every word come out of your mouth, my mouth. I saw her squirm when you put the question on her about who 50 Cent was. She came at you like she came at you, but she wouldn't dare say that about 50 Cent because she hasn't exhausted that resource yet. That's the only reason she wouldn't say nothing about it.
Well, it might not even be that either. I feel like 50 Cent doesn't necessarily have the track record that Cam Newton has when it comes to women. Like, yeah, or let me say this. It hasn't been brought to the public forefront as much. So I know he had that situation with his younger son, but I feel like 50 Cent has so much other stuff going on that you kind of forget about his business. And yes, she might have the intention of working with 50 Cent in the future and doesn't want to squander that opportunity. Well, in that case, she's being business savvy.
She went as far as to say, if he was on your show, then I would talk to him. Yeah, right. You're not going to exhaust the resource until you squeeze it out. After you get through squeezing it out, then you would talk crazy about him or anybody else. I saw it, bro. I'm telling you, I hadn't seen the whole episode, but because it became something to talk about, I sat and watched it. I was like, okay. Then at the end, when you got her, because you reversed it, you asked her, well, is 50 Cent like that? She would not say a disparaging word about the brother because she a hustler, Dr. Alleged Bryant. She a hustler, dog.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that what she said to Cam was wrong. So she could be a hustler and about her money and looking for opportunities. Was the message correct or not? She might have ducked 50 Cent. Okay, she might have decided to not hold him to the same level of accountability that she had held Cam Newton to. Was what she said to Cam Newton wrong? Okay.
I'm just saying, man, people get mad at me. It happens. But in the long run, when people study what you say,
oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
They're going to be like, oh, they was right there. It's just trendy. For the trendy people, you ain't right. What's the sister name who went on tour and had to cancel the tour? One of the ratchet female rappers. Damn, I can't think of her name. What is it?
Who was that? Was that Sexy Red?
Paula, what do you think about the new production approach?
Yes, agree.
I need to get a
Sexy Red. Let me tell you something. On the internet, it's easy to press like. On the internet, it's easy to do things to blow up. But in the real world, are people finna waste their time and resources to come see what you're talking about?
That's true.
No, they're not. You're an internet star. And ain't nothing wrong with being an internet star. You might turn it into some money. But I'm talking about for the long run, to not be a trend. You have to be something of substance that people will be like, oh, so-and-so coming to town. You know what? I'm going to take my hard-earned dollar and I'm going to go see that because it's probably worth.
Do y'all think Dr. Brian is not going to get any clients off of appearing on Cam Newton's podcast? Like, these women are out here making money, right? Now, it might not be the level of money that we think that they're making, but they wouldn't be doing it if they weren't getting any money off of it.
Something. You can't be worth nothing perpetrating who you are because you're a perpetrator.
For sure.
Got,
So to wrap this up in this particular phase, I'm like, I don't judge other people's platforms. But what I do see at other people's platforms, they're not being held accountable or they're not holding people accountable for that. And I'm not afraid to use my personal experiences to talk about. And I know what comes with that. But at the same time, if I'm locked in with my situation or situations, right?
Child,
and what I
the
mean by
way he
situations,
keeps-
the other mother of my children,
the way he keeps referring to Jazzy as his situation and not his girlfriend or whatever she's supposed to be. And he's calling her situation and the situations with the baby mother situation. So he got all these situations going. Okay.
have to put people on game. That's why I've created, let's keep it funky. We should be able to talk about religion. We should be able to talk about politics. We should be able to talk about relationships. We should be able to talk about the LGBTQT community and doing it with respect, not demonizing or suppressing or saying these type of things. We should be able to talk about the gay community and give them the respect that they deserve. What I am saying is, for me, I created something with a lot of help and support that allows me to bring light to any situation. And it's hard to cancel what it is.
Y'all, I mean, I don't know. How do y'all feel after watching that? I feel like, you know, I don't think Cam Newton is a bad guy, to be honest. I think that Cam Newton tries to sound intelligent while also trying to like excuse his behavior. I think he thinks more highly of himself than what he should. But I don't think he's a bad person. I think Cam is probably a cool person to hang out with and be around. He seems like he'd be very understanding and non-judgmental. Part of that is because he don't want nobody judging him. Corey Holcomb, I'm not feeling that dude at all. He sounds like a straight up hater. He sounds like somebody who likes to play in the mud, but then sling mud at women. When it's like, sir, matter of fact, you are the mud. So what are we talking about here? I feel like I need to bathe after watching that. You definitely need to bathe. Definitely. And you know, maybe take you a bath and do how the old folks used to do and put you a cap of bleach in that water. Yeah, that's what you need to do, sis. I'm gonna go do the same. I feel like your show is better than their show. Oh, don't hype me up like that, Carlos. Carlos. Don't have me out here acting brand new. Don't do it. Thank you. I really appreciate that, guys. And thank y'all for being here. Y'all could have did something else with your time. If you were listening to me while you were at work, just thank you for the support and tuning in. And thank you to those who consistently show up and participate in the chat. Y'all keep my channel going and flowing. Child, I run some bath water with bleach in it for Corey too. Girl, you got to put the whole tub of bleach in there. Okay, that's not just a cap. The whole gallon got to go in there. Your show is indeed better than. Y'all are so kind. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I gotta go costume shopping. I gotta go to the gym. I got a couple things I gotta do. But I will see y'all tomorrow at the lunch hour. Y'all have a good day.